The month of Kislev, which we just started this past Friday, is called the month of Geula, the month of redemption. Why? And what happened during this month? I'm going to share with you soon some of the events throughout history. But before this, we don't want to live just in history. We want the present and the future to be the ultimate Geula. So let's say thank you to Hashem. Mizmor lesoido, ril adenu kol harativ lesadenu b'simcha. Boi lefanav benonu duk adenu elim hu asanu v'lo nachnam v'v'tem marisoi. Boi she'ora b'soido chatzeroisa b'sila hoidu lebachu shumay kitoi v'adenu le'lam chazdo v'yador v'dor emunasoi. Let's give some tzedakah talking about Geula. Gedoyle tzedakah shemekareves es ha-Geula. As we know, tzedakah, charity, has the power to hasten the Geula. So let's do that. Okay, so here are some events that happened throughout history during this month. A few weeks ago, we read in the Torah the whole story of the flood, the Mabul. The flood started, the rain dust started on the 17th day of the month of Cheshvan and ended 40 days later, the 27th day of the month of Kislev. Flood, redemption, the world was redeemed, the world was cleansed. Our sages tell us that the construction of the Mishkan in the desert, the traveling temple, was actually completed during the month of Kislev. But Moshe Rabbeinu delayed the inauguration till the month of Nisan. He wanted it to take care in the month of Nisan, the month where people came out of Egypt. So Kislev was compensated for that about 1,000 years later, when the temple was rededicated, as we know, on Hanukkah, the 25th day of the month of Kislev. In the year 313, before the Common Era, Ezra, the famous scribe, spiritual and political Jewish leader, and the head of the Great Assembly of the Sanhedrin. So 1 year after the completion of the Second Temple, by the Jewish people who returned to Eretz Israel, which Ezra led them, he led a second wave of exiles back from Babylon. So he called the Jewish people to a special meeting in the courtyard of the temple. Unfortunately, many of them were intermarried with women, idolatrous women. So Ezra, as they in the temple, they shivered under the harsh rain. Yet upon the encouragement of Ezra, they all agreed to divorce these idolatrous women. Chabad lore is filled with special dates on this month. Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the first day of Kislev, is a very special day for our generation, and I'll explain. In the year 1977, during the Hakafot of Shmini Atzeret, as the Rebbe stood in 770 and encouraging, participating in the dancing of the Hakafot of Simchat Torah of Shmini Atzeret, suddenly people saw that the Rebbe is turning very white, sitting down on his chair, which something he never did during Hakafot. Not only sitting down, but actually leaning back on his chair, which again, something he never does, even sitting 10 hours by Farbrengen, would always sit at the edge of the chair, bending forwards. So they realized the Rebbe is not feeling well. They emptied the whole shul, asked everybody to vacate, to be more air. The Rebbe yet insisted to finish the 7th Hakafa, going upstairs to the sukkah, did Kiddush, and then he went into his room, and that's when the doctors checked him. And then later on, Dr. Weiss, who was the chief doctor to take care of the Rebbe, said, on a scale of 1 to 10, the Rebbe had a massive number 10 heart attack. He refused to go to the hospital, so he was treated in his room. And then, on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, was the first time the Rebbe came out of his convalescing from his room, and he went home. So that's obviously the day where the Rebbe showed he's recuperated, was recuperated. On the 9th of Kislev is the anniversary of the birth and the passing of the Mittler Rebbe, the second Chabad Rebbe. On the 10th of Kislev, this very same Rebbe, Reb Dober, a year before his passing, he was released from prison. On the 14th day of Kislev, we remember and we fondly celebrate the wedding of the Rebbe and the Rebbetzin Chaim Mushkin in the year 1928. Yad Kislev, the 19th day of Kislev, is the first of the Chabad Rebbes, the Alter Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya, was released from the Tsarist prison in 1798. And this is considered the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus. And as we all know, obviously, Hanukkah celebrated on the 25th day of this month. So this is the month of redemption. So Eibishter, make a new date. Today should be the full final redemption.